So Big Sexy's going back together. Well. I'm trying to get the headers on it, which is always a bugger of a job on this thing. Engine's in, bolted down, no transmission yet. Clutch stuff isn't set up yet. Still got to wire up the new fuel pump and put the return on that. We've got a primary pump that comes up and feeds our gear pump. So with a tank in the back, it's kind of going to be a pain in the ass to ever get it started and everything else. So this way, that primary pump runs it up, primes this, and this one makes our pressure. Clutch is going to go in. This is a Ram triple disc slipper. You got a disc and an intermediate and so on and so on and so on. And then up here you can see these are our clutch adjustments. So we can do a spring pressure on this, which is really right at the hit of the clutch. And then here's your counterweights that you can add or subtract. Has very little on it right now. These are an aluminum bolt and nut. We can add a bunch if we need to. So what we do is, because this clutch is really for a big tire Pro Mod car. Bought it used, of course, so have no idea the springs that are in it. Really didn't even look. But if I set it at factory stand height, it doesn't slip enough. For sure it doesn't slip enough. So what I started doing was playing with stand height, which is adjustable here. You can spin these, do whatever you need to do. But so what I did, I increased it by 30 thousandths from factory settings. Slipped pretty good there. So then we can just adjust our spring pressure here from then on and add weight, which we can add, like I said, a bunch of weight. So right now I think this is 3 grams with a nut, with a bolt and an aluminum nut like that. Steel nut is another 3 grams or 2 grams. I have to look back. And a steel bolt is another 3 grams. Every washer is a gram. Steel washer is a gram. Every aluminum nut's a gram. So it's very easy to add. Put the longer bolts like this one, and you can add. You just keep stacking nuts on it, which is a big change. Or put another aluminum nut if you need a gram, or a light adjustment, a steel washer, and whatever you want. What we'll do, we'll look at our data. When we'll go up and test it, we'll look at our data, and which we don't have proper data, but we can go on our MSD grid stuff, and I can see the slip. Obviously, you're going to see that RPM spike. I mean, it could be wheel spin, but if I'm watching the car and I know it doesn't spin, well, then we can look at that graph, and we can see where our RPM drops in, and we can adjust the clutch from there. If the wheel's spinning, not so much, but typically we're pretty good at just eyeballing it and doing it. If we were really bright, we'd have a clutch sensor, and you just compare that to your RPM, and then you really see 100% what it's doing, but then we can hit it pretty close. So I'll cue this up when we start putting it together, and you get to see what it is. All right, it's a Ram slipper clutch, putting the stands on, and these are adjustable, like I said before. Get your stand height where you want it. They have a flat. You got to make sure you index your flat up against this. Obviously keeps that from turning while you adjust it. Right now I've just got them all set the same height. I have no idea if they're right or wrong. I can actually have a pretty good idea they're wrong, but they're all the same height, so it gives me a place to start. And then we start putting discs in. And then a floater. Obviously just index the floater over the stand. And another disc. Another floater. And another disc. Except for I put the discs in there upside down. We'll pull it back apart. Flop these discs over. Anyway, it's pretty straightforward. Disc floater, disc floater, disc. You can actually change these stand heights and make it a 2-disc clutch if you need to. So now, this is the fun part. Trying to get the third one and then get into here. There we go. We're into the pilot. And she's held there. It's bad enough to get the transmission through 3 discs anyway. If they're not lined up, your day's getting really bad really quick. Now, we'll have to snug it down and then check our stand height and see where we need to be. That one, somehow or another, I knocked my stand out of place. Well, apart it comes again. Yeah. So putting this together, we knocked a couple of these stands out of place, and if they turn and get up in the air, obviously we can't set our clutch on properly. So I take it back apart. Everything is indexed properly again. And start over. There you go. Went on better too, didn't it? So, start back here. And we'll torque these down, then we have to measure from our pressure ring to our retainer. And that's how we know we've got our height adjusted. And like I was saying before, the height adjusts your spring pressure. I won't worry about torquing them just yet because I have to do a lot of adjustment here, I'm sure. So, put this together, we measure down to that ring. That's 0.997. I gotta go up a lot. I gotta go to, it's supposed to be 1150, and I'm gonna stretch it 30.
No, it's supposed to be 1015.
1015? So I'm gonna go 1045?
Yeah.
All right. Egghead remembers all the numbers. He even remembers Camcor numbers.
No.
No?
I remember grind numbers.
Are you telling me you don't remember the core numbers?
No.
You don't remember core numbers.
No, it's useless information.
I'm ashamed of you.
No.
My entire concept of fatherhood is gone. So, gotta get a punch. We'll turn these bad boys and set our height. That's 3/4 of a turn. That's a turn. Let's see what that gives us. This is, I've got to kind of get this close here and then go back around because it's going to change it having the other two beside it lower. 1041. Yeah, so we're going to leave it right there right now and then work our way around. We'll do one turn on each of these guys and then we'll come back and start measuring again. 1.029, so we're looking for a 1.040. So obviously we gotta raise this one up. Now, stick this little punch in and turn her out. We'll see what that gives us. Now there is a proper tool for this that I don't have. When you're trying to race with stuff you normally couldn't afford, you buy used, and you don't always get everything. Now, if I was smart, I'd order a tool, but haven't done it, so I'll do it this way. Sticking this thing in here and trying to get a good measurement, it's a little tricky just because you got to be square. And the little gauge they have is quite nice. Check this bad boy. Just a little tough to get it square up against that pressure ring. 1034, so we gotta crank this one, I don't know, around a quarter, I guess. Something of that nature. Try that. Let's see what that gives us. Oh, 36. When you're trying to get a few thou like that, it doesn't take much. Small adjustment will get you there. $38. Didn't get as much.
Probably your next stand is a long ways out.
It's quite possible. They were all within 20, but 4-0. Should have measured the next one. 35. And this one, since you got a hole in here, you can fit a body through. You can do this from the top too. But since Ty's already into the car doing fuel pump, we can do this down here. And then in our bell housing, we have an access door here. So we can do weights, we can do spring adjustments, we can do all that stuff in the car. And I haven't tried setting stand height in the car, but I may. Because we're kind of at the experimental phases of what stand height we want to get the slip we want. So I may try it in the car.
It's also not that bad to pull the transmission out if we.
No, but if we can do it through the access, I think I would. Although I can't measure it, I'd have to just guess because not having the proper gauge, I obviously can't get this thing in the bell housing. Old 48, so we went a little too much. Looks like. 41 will take. Because I don't think those springs are going to know that I've got one a thousandths tighter than the others. Or looser, as the case may be. We'll torque them to 75 pounds like it tells us to. Which it's already there, so.
You better go check them all the way around too, They change.
We'll check them, but they should all stay pretty close.
They don't usually. You usually have to face them one time. Just to maybe check them before you get crazy on them. I've done it a couple of times and I know they change.
They should all change about the same though, shouldn't they?
No. Your first one you did, you're going to find out that it's way the heck out again.
Oh yeah?
Also though, when I set the clutch up, it was it had never been set up before, so.
Be a nice time to have spark plugs in it.
Is it running away from you?
A little bit. I can hold it with my other hand, but. So. Yeah, it's brought that one down 5 thou. But if it does that, we're actually all right. It still leaves us 30 over stock setting. 34, the other one was 35. 35. So far, it's all just 5 thou.
You're at 35?
Yep.
We tried to end the last year at 45?
Yep. I was shooting for 35 and it all just kind of leveled off there, so I just went with it.
Okay.
But you said it was really slippery, and I was going to have to tighten springs, so.
Well, it did seem that way.
So this will work. Yeah, that one's 33, but the rest of them are 35, so. Should be good. We'll call it a day. Throw it in there and we'll try it. As soon as it stops snowing. We're good.
Hopefully should.
What's this?